Listen, when you're at a restaurant and a host takes you to a table and you don't like that table, you get one more shot at getting a different table. If you don't like that table either, you just walk out. You don't go to a third table. That's just how restaurants work. So Jonas and I and my beautiful baby little son were going to breakfast the other day, and we go to Early Bird Cafe in Omaha. If you know anything about Early Bird Cafe, the food is incredible and it is always busy, rightfully so. We walk in, the host tries to seat us at one available table, and it's right next to the door. Now, it's 19 degrees outside, which means every time that door opens and closes with beautiful paying customers in and out, the winter wind is going to be blasting our faces. And it would have been fine if it was just me and Jonas. But having my 1-year-old son, I was like, I don't feel comfortable with that. So I was like, would you mind letting us wait for a different table? Happy to wait. Not going to cause a scene. I'm just going to sit here, and I would love to wait for your next available table a little bit away from the door. She's like, yeah, absolutely. We sit down. About 30 seconds pass. She walks up and she's like, actually, I have one more available table if you'd like to take it. If you know anything about Early Bird Cafe, you know that it's a sea of normal sized, beautiful tables, and then one gigantic round table in the middle that seats like 15 people. It's in the center of everything. Where do we get seated at that table? I can't just be like, you know what? Not that one either. No. So we walk right up to it and we get seated. I'm trying to figure out a high chair situation because there are no edges to this circle in the middle of the restaurant. So there's no really great place to put a high chair. So we just put August on the top of the table, and we're just trying to figure it out. We order enough food for like 5 people because I felt so self-conscious that I was like, people are coming. Don't worry about it. We're meeting people. They just didn't show up. There were groups of people like 3 times larger than our group that were just squishing their way into a booth, like hanging off the side of the bench. Like, our waitress's name was Rain, and she was so incredibly lovely. And so Rain, if you're from Seattle and you're watching this, thank you so much for your service. Great. The other day I went to go get sushi with a friend, and one thing about me is I grew up eating all-you-can-eat sushi, so I don't physically know how to order any less than the amount that would make me throw up at a sushi restaurant. Anything less than that, I don't understand why I would even go. So we put our order in, and the server the entire time was like, are you sure that this is how much you want to order? And I'm like, I've never been more sure of anything in my entire life. And I could tell he was probably thinking we were not going to eat all of this, which made me more determined than ever to put it all away and then ask for more. But that's just because I'm broken. So I asked the server, what's your favorite thing on the menu? And he suggested something that I had never really heard of before, but I always like to get a good suggestion. So it comes, and the thing is, it's sitting in a pile of like lighter fluid in foil, and it's on fire. And it lasts a long time, like for longer than you would expect tin foil of sushi to be on fire inside. And I had already asked the server like 2 questions, and I am a 2-question max. I'm not trying to make this guy's life harder. It's busy in here. You have a job to do. I am not going to get in the way of that. I would rather eat lighter fluid and die than make your job hard right now. The fire never went out, so I just assumed this is how you eat it. In flames. So we're unwrapping the foil through the flames, and this sushi roll is burnt to a crisp. It's dust at this point. I ate it because I didn't want to tell him that I didn't like it. But the anxiety on my face as it was being delivered to our table paints a very clear picture of I am too anxious to ask any questions, and I wish that I wasn't.